Hey guys, thanks for joining me today, and thanks for checking out my channel, Slow Traveling Wanderer. I'm Becky and I'm the Slow Traveling Wanderer. So as you know, my channel focuses on documenting my journey as I move to Mexico permanently, with T-minus 23 weeks left to go. Started this channel last week, and that was T-minus 24, so 6 months before I make the move permanently. And what I wanted to do is just walk you through all of the different things to consider, the prep that has to be done, the planning, and all of the different, provide you with all of the different research that informed my decision, right? And hopefully this will help you as well if you're planning to move either to Mexico or planning to move somewhere else, as these tips can also work for anyone wanting to perhaps leave the US or Canada and relocate to another country and work remotely. So what I thought I'd do with these videos is I want to put shorter videos together and just share some of my experiences that I've had through pictures. So I just realized I have close to 9,000 pictures from all of my travels, and that doesn't count anything before 2014, which is on a Google Drive because I've changed phones God knows how many times. So what I thought I'd do is, in these shorter videos, is just provide you a little bit of a narrative through my pictures going back to 2011, which was the first time that I really, foot on real Mexico, aside from going to Tijuana, once in 1994. I'd never really been to Mexico, and walk you through from 2011 forward through pictures and just show you around Mexico. So I hope you enjoy this, and please do comment below, let me know what you think. And if you like this content, please do subscribe and give me a thumbs up so that the YouTube algorithm gods can smile upon me. All right, let's get into it. So this fabulous picture and building that you're seeing here is the center plaza, if you will, or the main center of the city of Puebla, which is about 90 minutes outside of Mexico City. I was invited there by a woman that I met who actually was my Zumba instructor, and she was from this city. Over time we became friends, and literally in typical Mexican fashion, she tells me on the 28th or 27th, hey, you want to spend New Year's Eve with my family in Puebla, Mexico? And I was like, okay. Now, typically, I'm actually very structured and I plan everything. But when it comes to travel, I'm super spontaneous. So it was right up my alley. So I went, and this was the first thing that we did was walked around the city center. And as you can see, it's gorgeous. I had already been traveling to Spain for a couple of years and to parts of Europe. So, the first thing that called out to me, it was like, oh, this is a very colonial there's a lot of colonial influence in the city. But I just had to take a picture of this building. I think it's the local government building too. It's just spectacular. And you could see at the bottom, they have the little trees and stuff. And there's red is kind of a predominant color because it was right after Christmas. So here you have another picture, same street, same kind of square from the other side. And then this one I'm going to spend a little bit of time on because I am in love with Mexico City parks. They do such a great job with public green spaces, and they take such good care of their parks and their flowers and their plants and their trees. It's just, it's amazing. Not only is it visually gorgeous, but I think it really gives you more of an incentive to go outside and spend time outdoors, reading, walking around the plazas, just really enjoying nature. Mexico and Mexicans are both very good at creating an environment that really draws you out and just gives you that sense of well-being. So after being in Puebla for a little bit, my friend took me to the neighboring city, which is called Lascala. Lascala holds a very special place in Mexican history for those that don't know it. It was a city and a people, an indigenous people called Tlaxcalans, who allied with the Spanish conquistadors and basically helped bring down the Aztec Empire. So they're known in the country as traders. Now, of course, that happened so long ago, and it's more like they tease people from Lascala as being traders. But what was interesting is that they did it in exchange for leaving their area essentially untouched for the 300 years that Mexico was under colonial rule. So one of the things you should know is if you visit that city, it is one of the most authentic cities representing an indigenous culture that essentially, for the most part, was left untouched by the Spanish. So a very, very interesting city. I'm very happy that I got to see it. Okay, so we spent New Year's Eve exploring Tlaxcala, and then spent New Year's Eve at my friend's sister's house, which was very nice. And they did the traditional posadas, which I'd never experienced, which was beautiful. The next day, her other sister decided that I should see Cholula. And Cholula, yes, is the same place from where the hot sauce Cholula comes from. What you're seeing here is a church basically built on top of the pyramid of Cholula. The pyramid of Cholula is amazing. It's actually the largest pyramid in the world by volume, even larger than the Great Pyramid of Giza. The difference being that the Pyramid of Giza is taller than the Pyramid of Cholula. Another thing that's interesting is the Spaniards were such zealots, religious zealots, that they literally in this city built 360 churches throughout the city, so that from the top of this pyramid you could see all 360 domes. In Spanish they're called cupulas, from the top of this particular church, which sits on top of the pyramid. The Nahuatl name for the pyramid is a very difficult word, and it means made by hand mountain, and it's Tlachihualtepetl. Tlachihualtepetl. It's a very difficult word. So now for a quick story time. Remember, I'd never been to Mexico prior to this, other than a quick trip to Tijuana for a weekend, not even a weekend, just like a Saturday in 1994. So I'm with my friend's sister, and we parked the car getting ready to head to climb the pyramid and go see the church on top. And there's a vendor selling insects, right? So the grasshoppers and beetles and all that other stuff. Nobody egged me on, nobody dared me, but Becky thought, hey, you know what? I want to taste one of these. And the gentleman tells me, here, you want to try one? And because I just said, what is that? And so he gave me one. I ate it, and I'm like, I remember it tasting like shrimp, like fried shrimp. And I thought, oh, this is good, thank you. Went on my way. That night, I literally was dying in bed, and I am not exaggerating when I say this. I had booked the trip so that I would swing by Mexico City, a city I'd never experienced or explored, and I was supposed to stay there 4 days. Well, I was so sick that it literally took all my energy, and my friend giving me all sorts of pills to see what would help me, to get me on the bus to take the hour-and-a-half ride back to Mexico City. When I got there, luckily I had a really nice room at the W Hotel in Polanco, which is a very nice, probably the most upscale area in Mexico City. And as you can see here, I checked into the room. I was sick the entire time, fever, stomach problems, vomiting, you name it. I was literally in bed the entire 4 days. I was afraid that I was not going to be able to make my flight. So that is, everybody has a Mexico story like that. That was mine. The sad thing is that it wasn't the first time nor the last time that happened to me. I don't know why. I do have a lot of food allergies, and I think I'm just super sensitive, but I've learned, where to eat and how to eat, but that definitely was a memorable experience. But then again, I ate a cricket. So whose fault was it? Mexico's or mine? I would argue it was mine. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this story time and these pictures, and let me know in the comments if you like this kind of content. I just figured I have so many pictures that it's nice to take kind of a walk down memory lane, at the same time give you guys a tour of the different places I've been to in Mexico. Oh, this was a really interesting bathroom at the W in Mexico City. Look at that. It looks like a room, but I'm sorry, not a bathroom, it's a shower. It's huge. Anyway, interesting stuff. Thanks again for joining me. Have a good one. We'll see you again next time.